Hello. In this ReliaBills training video, I'm going to walk you through how to create recurring invoices. Now this is a free account. It's a brand new account. Invoice colors and headers have not yet been created. We haven't even uploaded a logo. But that's okay. We don't need these things to create a recurring invoice. In fact, if we want, we can add these as we go. To get started, let's go to Invoices and then Recurring Invoices. If we had previously created recurring invoices, they'd be listed here. But since this is our first, let's go ahead and create a new one. And since we haven't even added any customers yet, I'll go ahead and add one here. Now, a recurring invoice is comprised of two components, the recurring profile and the invoice detail. The recurring profile basically determines what invoices will be created and how frequently. And the invoice detail defines exactly what and how much we'll be billing for every invoice. Let's start with the recurring profile. In ReliaBills, we allow you to anchor your recurring invoices based on either the invoice due date or the invoice create date. Basically, that gives you the option of having your invoices created on the same date every month or quarter or year, or have them due on the same date every month or quarter or year. The reason we give you those two options is because of the varying number of days in a calendar month. For example, if I want my invoices due on the 1st of every month, but I want to give customers 14 days to pay, that means invoices will be created between the 14th and the 17th of the month, depending upon how many days were left in that month. Use whatever option suits your billing needs. Let's give one a try. In this example, I want to have my invoices due on the 1st of every month, beginning with September 1st. My standard payment terms are 14 days to pay, so I'll enter those here. And even though I want my invoices created on a monthly basis, I've got all kinds of options. If I want to have them done quarterly, it's that easy, or even annually, or even weekly. But in this case, I want them monthly. Probably the most common of the examples that we see. The next step is to identify exactly how many invoices do I want created. In most cases, there is no end date defined, so you can simply leave this field blank. If you have a 12-month agreement with a customer, enter 12 in here. Only 12 recurring invoices will be created. In this example, I'm going to leave it blank. The next step is to define how or even if I want the invoice sent to my customers when the invoices are automatically created. The default is yes, send new invoices to the customer when they're auto-generated. We also give you the option to delay the sending. Some clients that bill monthly want the invoice automatically generated and automatically sent, but they want a few days to add any additional billing items. Some clients actually don't want invoices sent at all when they're generated. This is actually fairly common with our property management clients. Most tenants know their rent is due on the 1st. In those cases where the tenant is set up for auto pay, they won't receive an invoice, they'll just be billed on the 1st of every month. In this case, I do want the invoices sent, and I don't want any delay. I want them sent right when they're generated. Now let's take a look at invoice detail. As I mentioned, this is a new account, so we haven't even identified our own company. Let's do that here. It's important to note that when I save this information, I'm not just saving it to this individual invoice. I'm actually saving it to this account. That means any future invoices or recurring invoices that I create will automatically pull this information as my company info. I don't have a shipping or service address to add for this invoice or this customer, and let's save uploading a logo for later. And again, since this is a new account, I haven't created and saved any products or services, so I'll add them here. One challenge faced by a lot of businesses that bill on a recurring basis is that when they bill customers the same amount on a regular basis, it's very easy for the customer to get confused. They may pay one invoice not realizing that the previous month's invoice is still unpaid. One way to resolve that is using data tags. Data tags use the month that an invoice is created to display a month of service. For example, if I'm creating invoices and billing for the previous month, I can use the previous month data tag to call out the month of service. So for example, if an invoice is created in the month of August, the invoice will say for the month of July. In this example, if an invoice is created in the month of September, this description will say for the month of August. Or if I'm billing in advance, let's say I'm billing in September, but I'm billing for the month of October, then we'll use the next month data tag. These are totally optional, but they definitely help your customers understand what they're being billed for and what month of service is being billed. We can add additional products. We can even add discounts. Keep in mind that if we add a discount to this recurring invoice, that discount will be applied to every single invoice created by this recurring invoice. Let's say, for example, I only want a discount applied to the first invoice. I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Since all looks good, let's click Save. We're now on autopilot. This recurring invoice will now generate invoices that are due on the 1st of every month, beginning September 1st. Now let's say I do want to add a discount to that first invoice created. Rather than waiting for the system to automatically generate invoices every month, I can go ahead and manually generate the first invoice. Let's go ahead and open it. Created on 8/18, due date 14 days later on the 1st. Test product for the month of September. And now if I want to add a discount, I can add the discount just to this invoice. And save. Now if I go back to the recurring invoice, I'll see my list of recurring invoices. Here's the one I created for Biff Hansen. And I can even see that the first invoice generated by this template has the 10% discount. That's it. You're now on autopilot and on to the next recurring invoice. Any questions at all, please reach out to us at support@reliabills.com. Thank you.